Oh, perfect.
What's up with this? Oh, someone left a drink here.
Hello, BlizzCon. How you all doing? Hey, our clicker works. So awesome. Hooray for the clicker! All right, so my name's Jay Wilson. I'm the game director on Diablo 3, and we have a bunch of cool stuff to show you today. Before we start, I'm going to introduce all the lovely people with me. As I mentioned my name already. To my left is Kevin Martins. He's our lead content designer. Josh Tallman, concept artist. Pete Cooper, senior environment artist. Pete. Jason Bender, senior system designer. Jill Harrington, senior technical artist. Steve Shimizu, lead gameplay programmer. Christian Leichner, our art director. And Michael Nicholson, senior user interface artist. Woo! Let's hear it for UI. So, war is coming to the world of Sanctuary, and it's a war unlike Sanctuary has ever seen. 20 years ago in the Diablo universe, the three, Baal, Mephisto, Diablo, they were taken down by humanity. Yeah, and thank you for that, by the way. We appreciate it. So, hell shuddered in fear. They've spent the last 20 years preparing for their revenge. So today what we're going to talk to you about is how we build a world under siege by all of the forces of hell. We're going to start with story and go into environment, and we're also going to show you a little bit about the tools of the trade that you're going to use to fight that coming war. So I'm going to turn it over to Kevin.
Okay, everyone. So Diablo 3 is a action game with a very blistering pace. It's very fast-paced, and everything comes at you. You know, you're killing monsters and killing loot. You're clicking on everything that moves and utterly destroying it. So there's some unique challenges in that in storytelling. So I want to show you guys a little bit about how we do action storytelling. So we have a philosophy at Blizzard that we say, play, don't tell. And whenever possible, we want players to experience the events of the story, to personally partake in the twist instead of just seeing it in a cinematic or a dialogue, etc. No matter how spectacular, you feeling it yourself is better. So we haven't always done a great job at this, and I want to show you guys an example from Diablo 2 that could have been better.
I'm not surprised to see your kind here. Many adventurers have traveled this way since the recent troubles began.
He goes on.
No doubt you've heard about the tragedy that befell the town of Tristram. Some say that Diablo, the Lord of Terror, walks the world again. I don't know if I believe that, but a dark wanderer did travel this route a few weeks ago. He was headed east to the mountain pass guarded by the rogue monastery. Maybe it's nothing, but evil seems to have trailed.
War's a good man, but he just won't shut up. And, you know, in Diablo, you really want to click on everything that moves until it blows up in bloody chunks and treasure. So, Yay, treasure! So, in Diablo 3, I want to show you guys an example that we have in the demo, so you can go and see this for yourself. And this is action storytelling. So in this case, you're going to get a little quest from this man. He's a weaponsmith who's been betrayed by somebody working with the evil cults. And he will tell you what he needs from you as he joins behind you. So he'll be talking and you can keep moving. Then the video is going to fade to the end of the plot where you have the showdown with the villain and an occultist leader who is ultimately behind it all. And all of that happens while you keep playing as well. So all of the talking is kept very short, and there's no dialogues that are anywhere near 1 minute and 4 seconds long, for example. No matter how slowly Warav talks, we're going to have him talk only just a tiny bit. And here we go.
I will make an example of Dargon, that traitorous cur. Help me hunt him, and I will sell to you instead of those zealots.
Master, help me. The crazed weapon maker wants my head.
What makes you think I care for your life? Kill them, my pets.
Now that Dargon is dead, no one shall question my reputation or my resolve. Now to my goods. You'll find none better.
All right. So the other thing we want to talk to you about is opt-in storytelling. In Diablo 3, we actually have a lot more story depth. There's more lore, there's more conversations, there's more information, there's more things to read and listen to. But all of it, not all of it, the vast majority of it is opt-in. It's the player can experience it when he wants to. A great example of this is lore books. Lore books are objects that fall as treasure, and when you click on them, they automatically start playing an audio file where the narrator, the person who wrote the book that you found, is reading it out loud. So they have a little bit of voice acting, they're interesting, and it takes no more time than simply clicking on it to pick it up, and you're already experiencing the story, and you can keep running along killing monsters while you listen to it. So let's see one in action.
I am convinced that some malevolent being is attempting to wrest control of my thoughts away from me. I hear voices directing me to horrendous acts. And there are times when I seem unable to control my body. Lazarus knows. I am certain of this.
So this example that you're hearing is actually King Leoric. King Leoric was a king in the region of Tristram, and he went insane when Diablo tried to take over his mind. He successfully fought it off, but just being associated with Diablo drove him mad. And you actually hear him writing about his experiences as he slowly becomes the Skeleton King. So we're not just giving depth to existing characters, we're also filling out some of the stuff in the previous game. So a lot of interesting things there. So once you have a good story and you found some good storytelling techniques, your next challenge is to find a good scenario, a good level, and a way that ultimately a story can become something that's bigger than the sum of its parts. So a perfect story for a Diablo game is a siege. Basically, everyone understands it instantly. It requires very little explanation. Whether you're an attacker or an defender, everyone knows how a siege works. More than that, it's easy to design awesome action for. So Diablo gameplay is killing monsters, collecting loot, making new loot, etc. If you have the walls of a keep that's being besieged by demons, and in a few seconds we're going to show you Bastion's Keep and an army of demons, the biggest army of demons that has ever besieged the world of Sanctuary, you're the only person that stands between them and total annihilation. When you're just going and wiping out monsters on the wall, it feels way cooler and way more important than just some random area that you're going into. You're literally stopping a demon army, so that same gameplay becomes that much better. So in that case, that's a good example of the action-implying story. We don't have to tell you what the stakes are. We just have to tell you there's a giant army, set you loose, and you fill in the rest yourself. So we're going to show you the walls of Bastion's Keep and how we built them and so on in just a minute, and we're also going to show you the inside of the keep. At a certain part in this story, demon sappers break into the bottom of the keep and start pouring up through. So the defenders are unprepared for this, and you have to run down and clear out the dungeon. So that same classic RPG and classic Diablo gameplay of wiping out a dungeon feels super awesome when you know you're saving all of humanity to do it. All right, so let's pass this over to Art and show you guys how we build these.
All right, so when design and story come up with an idea like that for gameplay, it's then concept team's job